Hello and welcome to the Diwali special episode of Investors Hangout. This series is brought to you by Aditya Birla Sun Life Mutual Fund and Value Research. As we celebrate light and prosperity, one question always comes up around this time of the year. Should we invest in gold? And this time round, should we also consider investing in silver? Well, we have with us our in-house expert Dhirendra Kumar to answer these questions and more. Welcome, Dhirendra.
Thank you.
For years, you've called gold a non-productive asset. But around early 2022, when the Russia-Ukraine war happened, your stance changed a little. Can you please elaborate on that and put this in context?
Yes, something has changed, not in my core belief, but I have always believed what Warren Buffett kept saying. Gold produces nothing, earns nothing, sits pretty, and it appreciates because on the anticipation that more people would like to acquire it, would like to have it. But now central banks around the world, particularly China, India, Turkey, they went on an acquiring spree, not for the sake of, not for sentiment, not because they like gold, but to secure themselves. They're doing it for security. The freezing of Russian central bank assets, that was the biggest trigger. People want to de-risk themselves, people, and this is the de-dollarization. And the scale of demand is unusual. It is not that the housewife is going to the marketplace and buying that jewelry. That has always been, it will always remain, but the quantum of that is nothing as compared to what the central banks are doing. This monetary stance taken by central banks has led to this surge. I don't know when it will reverse, but something which is becoming so mainstream as a currency and which is held by so many individuals as such, as well, that is leading me to think that yes, it is something which should be had for de-risking oneself. But the basic character of gold doesn't change.
All right. So
it still does not produce something. It still sits pretty.
Yeah. So would you say this is the right time for investors like us to probably buy some gold for our portfolio?
I would say that somebody should have some gold. But make sure that it is some. It is not too much. Make sure that it is not exceeding 10%. Make sure it is not exceeding 5%. So far, my view has been, and historically, and I come across not a few once in a while, angry mails from some of our users that because of you, we haven't invested in gold. And gold has appreciated so much, and my apologies for it. But I'm anyway not in the business of astrology. I'm only looking at facts. And this fact has changed. And that has led to the change in stance. But at the same time, not to undermine the basic fact that there is something called reversion to mean. Something which keeps going up will not keep going up simply because there will be averaging. There will be people who would like to book profit. There will be central bankers who will book profit. Whenever they decide to, you will not be in the worst time to buy something is when there is a complete consensus that the whole thing will only keep going up. And that's a very dangerous thing to do. So be careful, be conscious, invest some in gold, but don't get carried by this. I am coming across a situation where a lot of people think that they need to be overloaded on gold.
Okay. So you still maintain that equity should remain mainstay, right?
Of course, equity should remain mainstay. Of course, fixed income should be mainstay. And there should be a little bit of gold in an investment form so that you can invest it and realize it as and when you need it or rebalancing it.
Well, that's about gold. Now, this Diwali, there's another metal that everyone is excited about, and that's silver. What's really happened there?
Silver has proved to be a dark horse. Everybody talks about gold. Gold has an unusual demand, and gold also has a relevance in our context, traditions. But silver this time round is stealing the show. It's just not a precious metal. It's an industrial metal. What we have seen is that EV, solar panels, everything in the modern economy, the 5G equipment, all these things, the semiconductors, it has, the electric cars consume about 50 grams of silver. That's the average or tentative consumption. So that has led to, and this is where we see that the world is really growing, rising, and increasing. That is the trendy thing, and understandably so, and unlikely to be a trend which is going to decelerate.
Yeah.
And if that is the case, then you will have a situation that the silver demand is coming from an unusual thing. Silver is getting consumed, unlike gold, which is still sitting pretty,
Right.
and sitting pretty in reserve banks, central banks lockers, as compared to something getting consumed in what we are going to use. That has turned out to be a very substantial thing. It has turned out to be a utility. So in that sense, silver looks more sustainable.
But contrary to the demand, production of silver, that seems to be falling. So should that worry investors?
Yeah, that has created a very unusual kind of aberration. The demand for silver is rising in the vicinity of anywhere between 4 and 5%. Indian demand is rising even a little higher. And Indian production is slipping. Global production is lower. So if you have a situation that something is produced less and it is in higher demand, twice as much of what we produce, then it's bound to go up. The only way the price can go till this situation prevails, either the production has to come or the supply, the demand has to come down for it to balance. Because it is not happening, that is why it is rising rapidly. Now, Indian production has also come down dramatically, 20-22%. We produce not in huge quantity, but whatever we produce, it has come down by a fifth. And that is why the demand for silver as an investment is also growing, because people are riding the price rise. And the result of this is that a few days back, one silver ETF had to stop its activity in that, had to halt its ETF, simply because the market price, the traded price in the stock market for those silver ETFs is nearly 10-15% more than the the import parity price. If the import parity price is 100 rupee, and if you're buying something worth 100 rupee, and that import parity price is not just silver, it is the custom tariff, it is the duties, all that included, and then you are paying 15% over and above that. If that is 15%, that is why it had to be halted, because people are paying 15% more than the underlying value of the silver that you can buy. That is not fair, and this is where it feels like silver is getting into a temporary, I don't know, temporary, but certainly getting into a speculative frenzy.
Okay, so and should that be worrisome for investors?
It should be worrisome, because any investor should not buy any asset simply because the price is going up. That is not a good enough reason. If you understand the reason why it is going up, and you think that the reason will prevail, then by all means buy it. By all means pay 15% premium, because if you think that the price will, as a result of this, your hunch is that this will create a kind of frenzy for this asset. Silver prices, people will be willing to pay 1.5 times than what it is. You will still make money. Something worth 100 rupee, you are paying 115 rupee, and you anticipate that given the circumstances, the reason, it will become 150 rupee or 180 rupee because of this demand-supply mismatch. But if you are not sure of that, if you are buying simply because the price is going up, you should not.
Okay. So final question, this Diwali, between gold and silver, if one has to choose, which asset should one invest in?
Both are considered auspicious. Buy a little bit, both of it, in the paper form, in the ETF form, or in the fund of funds, so that you can liquefy it. It can get you an unusual dimension to your portfolio. It can de-risk you. Consider no more than 1 or 2%. And that's it. All my growing up, I had no idea that there is something called Akshaya Tritiya. I belong to a family where, buying metal on Dhanteras was considered auspicious. And there was no need to buy anything. So at most what will happen is that something which is needed in the family, whether it be a tawa or a spoon, will be bought as a ceremonial thing. Yes. Now people, Indians are becoming affluent, they are buying things, and so maybe you think in terms of buying this small Ganesh ji, Lakshmi Ganesh, or some such thing. It's an asset, but I'm also wary of that as an investment because you never sell your family silver, and more so if there is Lakshmi Ganesh on that.
Okay then, gold for protection, silver for potential, debt for income, and equity for prosperity. Wish you all a very happy Diwali. Keep watching this space for more information. Keep sending us your questions. And if you like the show, do subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.